Hello, this is Jamie Magritte. Welcome to Jamie's Craft Table. Today I'd like to show you how I made this card. It's really a clean and simple card. It's not a simple stamping because it has embossing on it, but it could be. Alright, so let's get started. Let me first show you the list. Actually, I'll show it at the end. I wrote up a list of supplies because I noticed a couple of my videos, I think I'm saying one thing, and then when I go to watch it, I'm saying something totally different. Now, these are the list of supplies, or the supplies. You're going to need a Post-it note. We have a piece of Whisper White, which is 2 3/4 by 4 1/4. Piece of Early Espresso, which is 3 by 4 1/4. Shaded Spruce, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And this one is embossed. I've run it through the brick and mortar embossing folder. I have a card base, which is thick Whisper White, which is 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, scored and folded at 4 1/4. I have a little piece of ribbon. We have a new ribbon coming in the mini catalog that has gold trim. This has silver because this is what I have. I haven't purchased it or received my order yet. I'm not sure I purchased it. We're going to be using Perfectly Plaid, this tree here, and this pine cone here. And we're using under my umbrella these boots here. This card was inspired by a photograph from a Christmas card challenge, and I'm using Shaded Spruce, Early Espresso, and Gray Granite. In the picture it had a door with steps and a tree next to it, and the boots were sitting on the step, and so I combined the two items. There's the brick representing the house, there's the tree and the boots. Okay, so let's bring in our 2 3/4 by 4 1/4 inch piece of Whisper White. I'm going to stamp on it this direction. And I'm going to bring in the Gray Granite and the boots. Get up well. This one's hard to see if you've inked. And about a 1/2 inch from the bottom. I'm going to stamp those boots. Okay. Oh, you're also going to need some blends. I have the bring them in. I have the color lifter. I have this dark and soft, dark and light soft suede, the ivory, and the bronze. Okay, then let's bring in the Shaded Spruce. And this tree here. This one, I'm using this tree and this insert part of it. So this is where you need your Post-it note. I'm going to put that Post-it note covering up the top of that back boot, because the tree's going to sit in the center of that back boot. Okay, so I want it to be down here towards the bottom. across them. Let's see how it makes it look like it's inside the boot. Okay, then I'm going to bring in that other piece. I'm going to ink it up. I'm going to stamp it off over here on that post-it note. And I'm going to hover over this image and line it up. It's fairly easy to do. If it doesn't come out perfect, that's fine. I don't think it is this time, but that's alright. Oh, not bad. Okay. I'm going to take the post-it note off, so we're done with it. We're done with the green ink. I'm going to open the early espresso. Come in with that little pine cone. I'm going to stamp one down here at the bottom of this corner of the boot. And then we're going to stamp one laying on the ground next to it. I'm going to stamp one over here. Okay, then we're going to bring in the sentiment, Merry Christmas, which is also from the Perfectly Plaid. Stamp that up here at the top. And what I did is centered the S right over the top of the tree. Perfect. Okay, we're done with all this ink pads. Now we're going to bring in our blends. And I'm going to take the dark soft suede. I'm going to turn my card. It's a little easier for me to color it. I'm going to do the top of these boots. I'm going to do flicks along this back side, larger at the top. I'm going to do this bottom part here. I'm going to do right here where the fold in the boot is, and then I'm going to do across the front of the boot. Again, it's longer at the top. I'm going to do the front of this boot, and where this thing is here, and the bottom of the boot. Okay, then I'm going to come in with the light soft suede. I'm going to color in the rest of those boots. Come in with the bronze, and I'm going to add a little bit more dark, not quite as far in with the bronze. And I'm going to bring that dark one in. I'm going to add a little bit of a shade down here. Add a little bit more of this dark over the top of where I added the bronze. A little bit less of it then I'm going to come in with the ivory. I'm going to add a little ivory in the center here where it's supposed to be light, and on the top of its boot here where the light would be hitting it. And I'm going to add ivory under the boots and a little shadow under this pine cone. And if you need to, come in with the color lifter to add a little bit more highlight in the center and on the top of the boots. Alright, that's our coloring. Alright, then we can assemble our card. Okay, this piece we just stamped is going to go on our early espresso piece, which is 3 by 4 1/4. I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal. Might have to start it. Let's get this foam mat out from under. Let's see if that makes a difference. Much better. Okay, line that up. There's going to be a quarter, well, about 1/8 of an inch, because it's a 1/4 inch larger than the stamped image. Okay. And this one I think I'm going to pop up with dimensionals so I can show you the difference. You don't need to do this. Was the first card I did not. Piercing, take your pick tool, see if I can get these off this way. One of these days I'm going to get that. Maybe I'm piercing too hard, I don't know. Okay, bring in the shaded spruce that I've run through that embossing folder, the brick and mortar, and it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. This is going to get centered right in the center of it. Okay, and this, same size as the front of the card. Up with the fold. When I have it where I want it, press it down. Then I'm going to bring in my little bow. Add that to the top of the bottom of the tree. There's my card today. Here's the one I did previous without the dimension. And here's my list of everything you need to make this project. Well, Well, thank you for joining me at Jami'e's Craft Table. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I hope you can find a little bit of time to play with some stamps, ink, and paper.